Tip FM's Tip Today.
With Slattery's Garage, Puck On. Over half a century driving the people of Tipperary and surrounding areas with quality, reliable and economical vehicles, new and used. Call the sales team today to discuss your next car or van on 067 24 111.
Thanks, Pads, and welcome back to the final hour of Tip Today, 1800 938 007. And now, listen around to it. It was a very worrying event indeed. My friend was driving down Silver Street in Nina with his girlfriend when a male approached the car and a pedestrian crossing, asking for a lift outside of the town, but my pal refused as he was fairly locked and totally lost it. Tried to pull the wipers off, bang on the bonnet. When my friend beeped the horn, it made him worse. He then went to the passenger door and tried to drag the girlfriend out of the car. A friend got out and pushed him, but the guy punched him. And my friend called the guards. They didn't arrive at the time. How are we supposed to feel safe if they are doing their job properly, says one of our listeners to us. And that sounds like a very concerning incident indeed, and we will follow it up, and thank you for that. 083 311 3311. Now it is time for our health slot, and glad to be joined as usual by Muriel. Good morning to you, Muriel.
Morning, Fran.
And good to see you today. You're not into resolutions. You've been telling me this for years,
yes.
But still, we asked you to talk about people who are making resolutions.
I don't like the word resolution, so you can put whatever spin you want on it, but I don't use the word resolution because I feel it's nothing to be resolved, if that makes sense. I think you have to go with intentions and goals if you want this world to work out properly for you. Like, we know quick fix diets don't work. We know even most New Year's resolutions last within a day, a week, you know. Yeah. And isn't it funny? Most people, and one of my goals for this year is to wear my glasses, actually.
Oh, very good.
Can't see without them anymore.
We'll put photographs up on social media.
Muriel in her glasses. Anyway, yeah, most people don't change their body or don't change their health because they're scared of losing what they have. Does that make sense? And when I'm talking about losing what they have, it means their routines or their habits, and I suppose the excuses, because being the same,
the comforts,
being the same is easier to come back to. Like you said, you're going to do dry January. Like, it's not easy to do dry January, which means you have to change habits.
Absolutely.
So your habits in the evening time are going to have to change. Yeah. To quit is easier, Fran. Do you know what I mean? So for you to say this evening, well, no, I'm actually going to have a glass of wine because it's Monday. So like you, what would you say? Eat whatever you want, do the bare minimum, skip the exercise again because that quitting piece is easier. Raising our standards takes work. And you know, one of the things, I listened to a podcast the other day, and it was Jerry Hussey, and it kind of frightened me in a way because I was working up my own numbers. He said we have 900 months to live as an average human being.
Right. 300
of those months we sleep. So that gives us 600 months of being alive and well.
That's very stark.
Isn't that very scary?
Wow.
In my age, working it out, that means I have 630 months of my life gone. Right? Yeah. Which means I've about 300 months of my left by his calculations. And he said, like, if you have 300 months left or 400 months left, you use the word waiting. So I'm going to wait until Monday to start my diet. I'm going to wait until Saturday to start exercising. I'm going to wait to take on that project or change my job like you were talking about this morning, whatever. He said in his world, waiting equates to quitting. So while you're waiting, you're still quitting. And while you're still quitting, you're not raising your standards, which means you're not going to get yourself out of whatever predicament or hole you're in, be it health, be it whatever.
That's tough love.
It's tough love. But you know what? I was thinking about this a lot today, and I was like, the best case scenario is if you change, everything in your world changes. Can I read just a piece to you that was sent to me before Christmas, right? So this is a 49-year-old, and she sent this to me, and she said, the best gift I've ever given my 49-year-old self was my 49-year-old self. She said, when I started this year, this was this time last year, right? I was perimenopausal, pre-diabetic, depressed, scared, arthritis in both the knees, exhausted, stuck in a cycle of lack of sleep and motivation. And she said, I was so scared as I'd failed so many times and thought it was too late for me. And then she just, there's a piece in between of you know, her journey or whatever. She said, there's no greater gift you can give yourself. Health transformation changed not only my body, my mind, my outlook and my goals for the future. She sent me another message and a picture on Christmas Day. She was in Tenerife and she was in a swimsuit. She said, I have never worn a swimsuit in my life.
Wow.
Now, she's 20 kg lighter, so the 20 kg is obviously massive, but it was the health journey that got her to the 20 kg lighter. I don't do diets, I do health. So for me, if you can actually get your health back on track, your weight comes with it. They have to go together. A diet on its own is nonsense. The quick fix diets means that you'll end up eating maybe processed foods because you're trying to get the perfect amount of calories that we're in, or maybe overdoing protein or whatever it is. Diets in general, calorie counting in general, you're literally putting your body and your mind under pressure the minute you even think about it or talk about it. So you have to change your whole focus. And I started on Saturday on my social media accounts saying, today is day one. What do we do today? So we take it easy. We go easier on ourselves, but we do two things to change. So if you create a discipline to create new habits, those habits will eventually become the norm. Myself and Ali talked about outside the door a minute ago. She was swimming this morning. I was in the gym this morning. Did either of us want to do it? We spoke about how cold it was. Her pool was freezing and my gym was freezing. Did I want to be there? Absolutely not in a million years. I was shivering and holding on to my water bottle because it was warm. But I was there because the habit is established. The discipline is there because I know it makes me feel better. Does that make sense?
It does.
So you have to create a new discipline. So Saturday I said, start drinking your 2 litres of water today and start eating a good breakfast. They're the only two things I want from you for today. Day 2 was, okay, it's 3 meals today, but it's 3 good meals today. So see, can you actually change one thing in each meal that makes that meal more healthy? So if it's white bread you've had over Christmas, maybe add in the brown bread. If you're having like chips or something, maybe make your own chips, or maybe have like potatoes or something instead. Change one habit and keep that habit going forward. Don't change a million things. You know, so if we do it softly, it's easier to do it.
Is that the big mistake that we all make, that we go fully into
totally.
this and we give up everything? And you
give up everything, and the minute you restrict, like the man that said to you this morning, don't give up the chocolate but give up the wine.
It's Frank. Yeah.
But he's definitely right. Yeah. As in, if you step into it, you have a chance. Concentrate on the wine and get the water into you. Do you know what I mean? And then the next step is, if you start eating more well, you wake up brighter. It'll take a week or 10 days, but you will wake up feeling more well in the morning. If you have a good breakfast, that's the next step. If you have 3 good meals, that's the next step. Then you're going to start sleeping a bit better. So the minute you sleep a bit better, that's going to feed into the exercise. Your energy levels come back. So like, you'll get one bright evening, you'll be like, I think I'd really like to go for a walk. So like, it doesn't have to be a run, or it doesn't have to be a gym membership. You can do it very easily yourself by just changing the habits. So it's step into it easily, Fran.
Right. So when you say you're against resolutions, it's that big decision you're against, because that doesn't last.
It doesn't last, no. We have to change the mindset, because the brain and the frontal lobar part of our brain is the piece all the time that you're talking to all the time. So if you have all these resolutions of I have to do, your brain is kind of going against you. It's even like, I have to lose weight. So anybody knows this, that has ever been on a weight loss journey. If you have this thing in your head of I have to lose weight, and you lose 2 stone weight, next thing is you've 2.5 stone back on. Because you've restricted so much, your brain is like under pressure, and it doesn't feel safe, and it feels your body isn't getting enough food in, it's not getting enough macronutrients to be well or whatever. So all the time it's pushing you back towards the press to say, you actually need food, I need more, you're restricting here, you're not feeding me enough. So every cell in the body is crying out for a little bit more. Whereas if you feed the body properly, the 3 good meals a day plus the snacks, the brain is actually going after breakfast, I actually feel good now, this is safe. Maybe this is a good thing. 11 o'clock, nuts, berries, whatever it is, or a soup or something. Okay, now he's fed me again. This is really good. I feel good.
So it's a gradual take on and everything. When you read out the few lines from the lady, 49, was that her
49,
age? 49. What I could read between those lines was that mentally she's in a very good place now as well.
The mental side is just massive for people.
Yeah.
Another man, and he's probably listening this morning, he's 76. He's battled cancer and he has COPD. His message on Christmas Eve to me was, this is the best I felt in 8 years. You know, the best Christmas I felt coming into in 8 years. Now, there's still health issues or whatever there, but he feels so well. He messaged one morning to say he was walking up, leaving him on at 5:30 or 6 o'clock, and I was like, you mad Aegis, Jesus, get those runners off and come back down and be safe. But can you imagine at 76... being able to take that many years back, that you feel well, the best you've done in 8 years? I just think that's amazing.
Even though he has all
the underlying issues. He lost probably about 2 stone, but his goal wasn't, when he came to me, to lose the weight. His goal was to be more well. Because of the COPD, his breathing was wrong. He'd been to so many different, I suppose, so many different places to try and get himself back to the best he could be, and it just wasn't happening. And it did, as in, he's fitter. He actually said to me one of the days, do you know where I was yesterday? And I said, no, what were you doing? And he said, he was up a ladder. He said, in my previous life, he said, I was a fireman. He was up the ladder with the hoover strapped to my back, hoovering out the leaves out of the shoots or whatever. He said, I couldn't have done that 3 months ago or 4 months ago. Now, the weight definitely does help all of this, but the health piece is the biggest piece, Fran. And if you're thinking of doing anything as you start this year, if you haven't had a health check, go and get a health check done. Go and book in and get your bloods done. See exactly where you're at with that. There was another death, it was all over social media, like the strong man. He was the strong...
Yes, yeah.
You saw that.
Paul Murphy.
That's right, yeah. Well, like, you have to have a health check done. You have to have the cardiac side done. Like, the cardiac world is coming back now into our, like, teenage years or whatever, and they're picking up different things all the time. That's your starting place, right? The second thing then is, so say something simple like, how many people have like jars full of supplements at home that they buy and they take like 2 or 3 of them? Are they there? Take them out. Maybe you need them. Do you know what they're for? Do you know what I mean? Start using what's around you before you go into the whole bigger picture. And even have a piece on supplements. Can I talk about this
please,
literally?
yeah.
All right. So now, this, just for people to be aware, I'm going to run through things like that you could be deficient in.
Yes.
These are signs or symptoms within the body. But it doesn't have to be deficiency in something. It could be something else as well, more underlying or more health related, right? So the first one is cold hands. Deficiency in iron, right? No appetite, zinc. Dry eyes, vitamin E. Shortness of breath, iron. Hair falling out, iron. Dry mouth, vitamin E. Brittle nails, B7. Tired all day, vitamin D, or it can be B12. Feeling low, B6. Forgetfulness, omega-3s, your essential fats. Leg cramps, magnesium. Tingling sensation in the hands, B12 again. Frequent infections, zinc again. Muscle weakness, cramps, magnesium again. Dizziness, fatigue, iron. Okay? All of these can be got from our diet. But if you're not getting them from your diet, you most certainly can supplement. But you get the best of supplements as in, get it in a powder or even liquid, go to a really good health food shop that somebody can actually guide you in the right direction. So if it isn't something, say like the cold hands or whatever, maybe it's something else. Do you know what I mean?
You have to take great care with that. I remember one time being prescribed magnesium, for example, but I got the wrong magnesium.
Yes, and then you had diarrhea or something. Yeah,
you know,
you have to be. You have to go to a proper professional that knows exactly what they're talking about, you know, because there's 6 different types of magnesium, Fran.
Yeah.
And like even with magnesium, I think people don't realise when your cortisol and adrenaline are really high, your magnesium demand increases. So chronic stress uses up magnesium really quickly. So somebody might be taking magnesium and the right magnesium and they might feel it's not making any difference at all, but it can be just the fact that your adrenals are running at such a high level, you're burning through it really quickly.
Right, so you have to be careful
expert advice as well, yeah.
Where that is concerned. And where mental health is concerned, we can do something pretty much immediately if we have the resolve to do so about physical health and that. Mental health is a different issue, but does one thing play into the other?
They go together, but you know, it's funny because I talk about the 5 pillars all the time, don't I? But it's one of the things I'm finding all the time. Stress and chronic stress is one, like, so people present and come to me in relation to their health, right? And it's physical health. That's what I deal with, right? But they come under so much stress that you have to actually pare back the layers to see can you actually alleviate some of the stress before you can even work on the other side. But I do say to people all the time, if you are under chronic stress, if you can actually try and sort the wood from the trees some way or another, that you're putting things down on paper to see, right, what can I do about this? If you work on the 5 pillars, it definitely helps alleviate stress. So if you can eat a little bit more well, that's number 1. You start to feel a bit better. You have to, how many times have I spoken about this? You have to drink water. If you're not hydrated, your body doesn't perform. You can't even think straight. You're knackered the whole time. This time of the year, the water should be out of the kettle. It should be warm water. That's why I was holding on to my water this morning, because I had boiling water inside it.
Yes.
Every cell in the body will take it in so much easier if it's warm water, right? Your sleep comes if these 2 are better. So if you're not eating a big meal late at night, if you're not drinking the wine late at night, whatever, you're not waking up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning tossing and turning, right? There's 3. The next one then is the exercise. If you're really stressed, something as simple as 10 minutes. Do you know even the biggest muscle in the body is your calf muscle? And even if you're sitting at your desk, if you even just do calf raises, you're actually directing more blood flow towards your heart. That's something very simple that you're just doing under your desk. If you only walk around the building, if you do something as simple as putting your hands on your knees and introduce more nitric oxide to your brain, so it's the deep breaths into the nose for the count of 4 and holding it, these are simple things that you can do to alleviate stress. If you do those 4, it definitely helps. But I have to say, if you don't, get control or manage your stress, you are in trouble. And all the people that we see with different things happening, and go back to the 300 months that I have left, I've worked for the last 12 months hugely on being present and gratitude. Those two words. Being present means I can only control what I'm doing here and now. Okay? I can.
And has that worked for you?
Massively. Okay. Massively, because I pull myself back to it every time I'm starting to go down rabbit holes. And we all do. We all have the family, and we all have the work, and we all have all the financial and all the other things that it's in everybody's world. But if you can be present and say, I can only control what I'm doing now. Why am I anxious now? Why am I stressed now? Where's it coming from? Sometimes it can be something very simple. It can be something like the lads forgot to bring something to school. It can be something very simple. And you can alleviate it by that quick, mindset piece of, why is it there? Okay, that needs to go. There's no need for me to be worried about that. And the gratitude, Fran, that has to be the biggest. You've seen Christmas. How many things have happened over Christmas, like the accidents and all the different things that have happened. Yet we continue to overprocess, overthink, over-worry and over-stress over stupid things. Like even coming into work today, like you practice the gratitude and say, oh my God, we are so lucky. We can get up, we can come to work. The lads are good. We had food at Christmas, we had whatever. I even ate a couple of mine last night and said, ye actually had everything ye needed this Christmas. Now, cop on.
Yes.
Tomorrow starts, be grateful. But if we can practice the gratitude piece for what we have here and now, it makes life easier.
There's an old Buddhist thing that is, you think you have 1,000 problems until you have a health problem, and then you only have one problem.
That's exactly, and it's not so true.
Yeah. Isn't it just,
and we do know
yeah.
that, because...
Can I just finish by going back to something you alluded to earlier on, is that people who might be battling cancer, for example, or some other chronic issue, they can still take control of the other aspects of their health.
Well, you heard there, the guy I said that was 76. Like, cancer is back again in his world. And he has COPD. But he was still able to send me a message to say he feels the best he's felt in 8 years because he took control of his lifestyle. So what we did was we reduced anything that was inflammatory in his world. So any of the foods, excess coffee, things like that, we got the balance right. So we didn't get rid of everything. Like, it's funny because he said to me, I'm not allowed to use expletives on air, am I? But he said, if you're no effing good, I'll be telling you very quickly, right?
Yeah.
And he had said to me afterwards, simple things that he was left to, like have a cup of tea and a couple of biscuits, like 2 or 3 times a day. That's not going to kill anyone. But we made sure that the other things in his world were good. He was already walking, but sometimes even doing too much. So like you have to be able to walk that you're not putting yourself under any excess stress.
Right.
He couldn't do that, and I had to pull some things like that back. Even simple things like you think you're walking even in correct footwear and you mightn't be. And so we changed loads of
Well, what I
little
love
things.
about it is it puts him in a better position then to deal with the profound health issue, if you know what I mean. You know?
He's in a space now because he feels well every day. He can live every day.
Yeah,
So that's what he says, as in he gets up every morning feeling good.
Yeah.
So the more days he gets feeling good, the rest you don't think about. Because he's another one that's always in good form, and he practices the gratitude piece of I'm here today and I'm well today. It's funny because he said when he bent over to take his shoes off to get on the machine, when I was making him stand the body analyzer or whatever, he said under his breath, I was going to say the other word, feck now, whatever, what's you making me do this for? Yeah. He didn't tell me that until the second time he was back, but he said he couldn't with his belly.
He wasn't able to.
He wasn't able to open the laces and stuff like that. But the second time he said, Jesus, I know I'm getting there, Muriel. I can actually open the laces today. And I said, why was that not possible the last day? So in anybody's world, no matter whatever health journey they're on, shall we say, if you can get this piece right, and you don't even need to go, you can come to somebody like me, but sometimes you don't even need to. You can actually reassess and do it simply yourself.
Right.
Go back to where we were
and
70 years ago, Fran.
You've seen people do this. You've seen people turn their lives around and all of that.
8 out of 10 people.
All right.
Literally.
Excellent. If people want to talk to you or Charlotte, how can they do so?
Yes. And I won't lecture. It's 062 88 002.
All right. Great to see you as always. Thanks very much indeed, Muriel. We'll take a break. We're back with more.
Tip FM's Tip Today.
With Slattery's Garage Puckon. Now is the time to pick up your next van. From the award-winning Peugeot Partner van to the Expert and the load-lugging Boxer van. We have big vans, high-roof vans, long wheelbase vans. You'll find them all at Slattery's Garage Puckon. See slatterysgarage.ie.